Hey guys, so this is like take 3 for this video. Ugh. So I'm hoping I can get it right this time, alright? So once again guys, I'm sorry that it took me a while to get back. I've been sick. Feel like what's new with that, but I am feeling a lot better, so let's jump right in. So this video is going to be talking about cleansing. This is the first part of the natural hair basics segment that I have started. So I look forward to going on this journey with you guys, okay? So I have my little paper here, so bear with me if I look down. Let's go ahead and start with the most basic thing, which is what is it? What is cleansing? Now, cleansing at its most basic definition is going to be to make clean by removing something, right? So if we're talking about your hair, it would basically be to make your hair clean by removing any filth, grime, dirt, buildup, sweat, products, anything that's in your hair that you don't want to remain in there long term, okay? And the reason I said cleansing rather than talking about specifically shampooing or co-washing and that kind of thing is because there are so many different types of things that you can do to keep your hair clean. And I don't want to alienate any single person based on just a narrow definition, right? But before we kind of talk about different types of cleansing and other questions related to that, we also need to talk about why is it important to cleanse your hair, okay? And really the most important reason to cleanse your hair is because having a clean scalp is really the basic of any type of hair growth, healthy hair at all. I think a lot of times we get so caught up in the length of our hair, but the reality is all growth and all health starts from our scalp. So if your scalp is not clean, if your pores are clogged, your hair is not going to grow properly. It's going to be dry. It's going to be weighed down. It's just not going to be healthy, okay? So that's really one of the most important reasons. And of course, with that, you don't want your hair to smell. You don't want your hair to have any type of bacteria. If you have scalp conditions, there's just so many reasons to cleanse your hair and so many benefits, okay? Now, one of the most common questions that I get when it comes to cleansing your hair is how often should I do it, right? How often should I clean my hair? Now, obviously that question is going to vary from person to person. And some of the factors that can affect that is maybe how often do you work out, right? Where do you live? Do you live in an area with very high pollution? Are you a person who swims a lot? Do you work outside where you have a lot of like grass or mud or dirt or anything that will constantly get inside your locks? Are you a person with scalp conditions like, I think, what is it, seborrheic dermatitis or some kind of scalp condition that I think I saw Loc has. I'd have to double check. But, there are various reasons why you may have to shampoo more often versus not shampooing more often. And we need to really make sure that you're taking into consideration your lifestyle. Now, personally, if I had to just throw a number out there, because I know people are going to be saying, but what number or how often? I would not go longer than a month without cleansing your hair. That's just my personal opinion. I do not think that it is healthy to do that necessarily, just because even if you're not working out, even if you're not working outside, even if you're not swimming a lot and that kind of thing, even at the most basic, you should be sweating some, not excessively, but some, right? Between now and then, right? Even if you aren't using a lot of products, your body produces a bunch of things on its own, and it's going to be important to make sure that you are keeping your hair and scalp cleansed. Now, what that's going to look like, as far as what type of cleansing you do, that's totally up to you, right? But I'm just saying, at some point, removing dirt, grime, and filth from your hair will be important. Just my personal opinion. Take it with a grain of salt, guys, okay? Now, we need to look at as well, what type of cleansing would be best for you. So we have just kind of our most basic, which is shampooing, right? Some people tend to use sulfate-free shampoos, especially in the natural community, because those are less harsh on your hair. Some people tend to use clarifying shampoos, if not every wash, every other wash or maybe every few months, because it's a little bit stronger than a regular shampoo, and it generally is going to really remove everything. It's going to deep cleanse your hair. Now on the flip side of that, it's probably going to be more drying, but at least you're going to get everything out of there and you can kind of start moisturizing to replenish that. We have co-washing, which is more big in the loose natural community rather than lock community. But that's basically going to involve some type of conditioner with cleansing properties to remove dirt, filth, grime from your hair. There's a lot of controversy about those and if they really work, but you know, that is an option that's out there, right? We also have apple cider vinegar rinses. Now, apple cider vinegar is known to have a lot of holistic benefits internally and externally, but one of the main things that it is known for is in a way acting the same way on your hair as a clarifying shampoo would, in that it will, if you allow it to soak or even doing like a rinse, will remove a great deal of buildup from your hair, particularly if you have locks. If you let it soak, it will literally have the water a different color for a lot of people. For loose natural hair as well, you know, people have noticed a big difference. It does smell very strong, so I'm just warning you ahead of time. It is strong. But, you know, a lot of people will use that in conjunction with shampooing every now and again, and will notice that, you know, it can actually make your hair respond better to a lot of your traditionally favorite products. And so, I mean, I don't really do that a lot of my locks, but I actually use the Neutrogena anti-residue shampoo. And that, using that every couple of washes, I've noticed really makes a huge difference with my hair. I don't experience any buildup, as well as my products tend to work better, if that makes sense. Okay, now, so, you know, you'll have to decide based on your hair needs. Is my shampoo getting it? Do I need to clarify maybe more frequently, depending on how much products I'm using, how many products I'm using on my hair, that kind of thing, okay? Now, the last part I want to address is one of my subscribers asked me about porosity and how that might affect your hair. Now, the big thing to understand is that porosity is just going to involve how easy it is for water to penetrate your hair, okay, or moisture to penetrate your hair. Now, if you're low porosity, that means low porous or low holes. You know, there's not a lot of gaps in your hair. So it is very hard for moisture to penetrate your hair shaft or products or anything like that. What that means is it's going to be a lot harder for your hair to have any moisture intake. And when you do get things in there, it's going to be a lot harder for them to come out. You might be more likely to deal with buildup and that kind of thing if you're not careful. So for those people, you may find yourself having to use something that may be a little bit harsh for other people's hair, but for your hair really does its job, right? Whereas somebody with high porosity hair, the moisture just rolls in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, right? So yes, it's easy for it to come in, but there's really nothing keeping it in there, right? And so for you may want to focus on some type of sulfate-free shampoo, or just make sure that you're going to follow up with a good moisturizing routine, which we'll talk about in the next video. And then, of course, there's normal porosity where you fall somewhere in the middle, okay? Maybe for you, you really haven't noticed a huge difference. You know, your moisturizing routine works really well. So your shampooing really just can kind of be based on your own kind of hair and scalp needs, which to a certain extent everybody should be anyway, okay? So the only thing I can think of that I haven't talked about really is just kind of the main difference between shampooing loose natural hair versus shampooing your locks. The only thing I can really think of is that you really want to make sure you put a heavier focus on the length of your hair when it comes to locks, just because your locks will keep products in there. And if you're not really getting it out or giving it a good scrub, you're going to end up with buildup, or you're just not going to get your hair as clean as you want it to be. And that's not going to be good long term, because unlike loose natural hair, locks kind of have an inside, and if you're not getting that out of there, then you're going to run into some problems. But that's really all I can think of when it comes to cleansing your hair. If I missed anything, please feel free to comment below if you have any more questions, and share your own experience with cleansing, you know, kind of what's your go-to cleansing that you prefer. What is your kind of schedule? How often do you do it? That kind of thing. As well as, you know, the next video we're going to be talking about moisturizing. So please feel free to drop any questions you have about conditioning, deep conditioning, hot oil treatments, or any concerns related to that. Okay, guys? Once again, I want to thank you so much for watching, and I hope you stay tuned for the next video. Thanks. Bye.